place, going back to his paediatric, to psychiatrist, look at medications to manage his level of anxiety, and it was about the whole journey of what we faced for 3 months and what we're still facing and what we will continue to face for the rest of our life and the rest of his life. And so while your topic is about being able to express and being able to talk, let's not overlook those individuals that are unable to do that.
Andrew, thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Must have been very difficult to sort of express the sort of the narrative and the journey, but also the complexity around there. I would 100% agree with you when we look at obviously a system approach and we're looking at the complexity of each individual. There are multi-layers, aren't there? And you're bringing in different disciplines, and you're wanting to look at education, you're wanting to look at normalising conversations, you want to make connectivity, and the whole range of challenges that are actually faced with the transitions that take place through our lives as we go from a child, as we go to an adult, in that transition that takes place. And then you add the extra lens on there of not being able to communicate that. I appreciate that is very, very complex. One of the things we've been working on at Breakthrough is the development of a primary school education program called Big Talks for Little People. This actually uses animations to actually do the narrative, to actually get the engagement. There's no language in there, it's actually about actions. And they have been looking at some of those trials, looking at some of these schools. It's aimed at primary school children predominantly as a starting point. But there is that opportunity of how that then gets looked at and what's the different lens we put onto it for those who have difficulty in communicating.
I'd just like to add real quick, thank you so much for bringing this up, because it's people like you bringing these points forward that things can develop, new programs can happen, and for people who can't or in the sense don't have access possibly or having non-verbal or whatever it may be, having those allyships and allies who are supporting them is so important. So thank you so much for being that supportive person.
You guys have been great today, coming in and having a chat about this. And John, Cecilia, if anyone's listening and wants to reach out, how can they do that?
Yeah, if you're listening and you're wanting to learn new skills, so you want to take part in mental health first aid or a mental health awareness program, if you go onto our website, we've actually got a link you can follow. So it's info@breakthroughfoundation.org.au. You can come as an individual and take part in that training, or if you're connected to a sports club, we've got a partnership with the Adelaide Football League and also with Sport SA. We've got subsidised programs that people can take part in. If you're wanting to sort of support Breakthrough to enable us to make a bigger reach, obviously go onto our website. There's ranges of ways in which you can either donate or actually have a fundraising activation, etc. We support you on that journey all the way. We're a foundation that's 100% supported by our community. We don't receive any state government funding or federal funding, so everything we invest has come from our community. And that's meant in the last 18 months we've been able to run and develop 29 new research programs and invest $1.9 million back into the sort of South Australian research community, which we couldn't do without the support of our corporates and our community activators. So if you want to join us and help us, we're always looking for more support, because the need is there is enormous.
No, you're doing an amazing job. Guys, thank you so very much for coming in. We're going to jump into the newsroom now, get today's headlines, and then on the other side, we'll be talking tech with Richard Pascoe. So if you've got any tech questions, 8223 0000.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Another sunny day tomorrow, a top of 30 degrees. With the 3 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
Berkowitz Spring Sale, up to 40% off sofas, chairs, dining, recliners and more. Berkowitz Furniture Mile End.
Police are investigating a serious car crash near Cuddly Creek this morning in which one man lost his life. A car crashed into a tree on South Para Road at Chain of Ponds near Adelaide Gully Road. The driver and 2 other passengers were critically injured in the crash, and they're now in the Royal Adelaide Hospital being treated. South Para Road remains closed between North East Road and Kersbrook Road. The man's death is the 93rd life lost on our roads so far this year, compared with 57 at the same time last year. Police are confident they've identified the person whose remains were discovered on Kangaroo Island 40 years ago. but they're now seeking information to finalise their investigation. This year, a family history profile was created for the deceased using publicly available DNA data. A family was contacted by police and was able to confirm that William Billy Henry Hardy had disappeared from New South Wales in the late 70s. Police are now trying to work out Mr Hardy's movements before and when he arrived on Kangaroo Island, and they're asking locals for any information that may help. China's ambassador has dismissed allegations his country is stealing Australian intellectual property on an unprecedented scale. ASIO boss Mike Burgess has issued a rare public rebuke of Beijing. He's accused Chinese intelligence agencies of trying to infiltrate Australian research institutes. Ambassador Xiao Chen says the claim is not accurate.
It's a process of self-development plus engagement with the rest of the world. But I'm not at all in a position to debate on this particular issue because that allegation is absolutely not founded.
The US president will arrive in the Middle East within hours, but a meeting planned with Arab leaders has been cancelled. The leaders of Jordan, Egypt and the Palestinian Authority were due to discuss the crisis, but after a missile hit on a hospital in Gaza, it's now been called off. It's believed up to 500 people have been killed in an explosion, including many people taking shelter in the hospital. The Hamas-run health ministry is blaming the explosion on an Israeli airstrike, a claim denied by Israel. The BBC's John Donaldson has the latest from Gaza City.
Hospital run by the Baptist Church. It's right in the centre of Gaza City, close to the main square. This time there will have been hundreds, if not thousands, of people displaced from their homes, sheltering in this hospital, thinking it was a safe place.
Now FIVEAA Sport. On the final day of the AFL trade period, several trades have already been finalised with just a few hours to go. Alex Riddell has more.
Premiership magpie Jack Ginnivan is officially a Hawk. Collingwood will receive pick 33 in the upcoming national draft and a future second and third selection in exchange for Ginnivan. Hawthorn also receives pick 39 in this year's draft and a future second and future fourth selection. Richmond Premiership player Ivan Soldo, who was seeking a primary ruck role, has been traded to Port Adelaide, while St Kilda's Nick Caulfield is now a Bulldog. As part of the same deal, Carlton's Paddy Dow is a Saint. Some of the deals yet to be completed: St Kilda's Jack Billings' potential move to Melbourne, Hawk Jacob Kazitsky's trade to Richmond, and whether Hawthorn will welcome back Jack Gunston.
Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
G'day there at Currata Park. Look out for a crash South Road near the hospital. Chain of Ponds Road closed there following a major crash. South Para Road near Adelaide Gully Road. And Dry Creek, another collision. This one's Churchill Road near Gum Avenue. Slow for works at Banksia Park. Hancock Road near Shannon Rise with speeds at 40 with a camera today. Saints Road at Salisbury Plain. Dan Murphy's don't match. They beat prices like Hennessy VS Cognac 700ml. Just $69 for My Dan's members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
And the latest FIVEAA forecast.
Berkowitz Spring Sale. Up to 40% off sofas, chairs, dining, recliners and more. Berkowitz Furniture Mile End.
Another sunny day tomorrow, a top of 30 after an overnight low of 14, then partly cloudy on Friday, 28. A shower or two on Saturday, back to 18. Currently, it's 26. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, road crash horror. Police respond to 2 high-impact collisions. The blame game over a hospital strike that's left 500 dead in Gaza. New warnings of a nationwide milk shortage. Sir Paul McCartney ready to rock Adelaide. And we'll bring you all the deadline day action as Port closes in on trade targets. See the full story live on 9 News at 6 p.m. and on 9 Now.
Make your day a cream on top kind of day with a McCafe Deluxe iced coffee. A shot of barista-made espresso with the decadent taste of hazelnut or vanilla or caramel. It's real coffee, real deluxe. McCafe Deluxe iced coffee. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
For a limited time, get a great deal on the 160 kilowatt 2023 LDV T60 Max from $36,990 drive away for ABN holders. That's $2,000 off. Visit a dealer today. LDV. Bring it on. New stock vehicles only. T's and C's and exclusions at ldvautomotive.com.au.
I'm Ned, and I'm a geek. I'm no good at voiceovers, but amazing at fixing your tech problems. All Geeks to You techies work on any device and give great advice. For in-person or remote tech support, go to geeks2u.com.au. U. That's the number 2, the letter U.
Beaumont Tiles has a new showroom in Seaford Meadows. We're celebrating with grand opening specials this Saturday only. 25% off all tiles and 10% off all bathroomware and hard flooring. This Saturday only at Beaumont Tiles, Seaford Meadows.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
Unit 13's charcoal cheesecake might not have been funny at all. And 32's ironing incident definitely wouldn't have been. Not to mention 6's electric blanket mix-up. But thanks to Safe Fire Electrical, they've had the building in stitches for weeks. A little fire safety can be the difference between a comedy and a tragedy. Keep the little things in order with Safe Fire Electrical, your local fire safety experts. Visit safefire.com.au.
5AA's Business Lounge with Matthew Pantelis.
I'm here with Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive Officer of Western Hospital. Welcome, Kathy.
Thanks for having me, Matthew.
With all the costs of living going up, has this been a challenge in healthcare as well?
Absolutely. People are finding it increasingly difficult to access GPs, often questioning the value for money that they get out of their GP appointments. But Western GP Clinic are very proud to boast a level of care and expertise encompassing a holistic approach while providing a value option.
And if people need further treatment in a private hospital, what options are there for those without health insurance?
Insurance can be helpful, but it isn't a requirement. We have a wide range of specialists and services available here at Western, and many procedures are more affordable than you think. So it's definitely worth giving us a call to discuss your options and get a quote.
Thank you, Kathy. To find out more about Western Hospital, visit westernhospital.com.au or call 8159 1200. That's 8159 1200.
The 5AA Player app lets you listen to all your favourite 5AA shows wherever you go.
5AA Afternoons with Jade Robran.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the program. Lovely to have your company on this beautiful day in the city, top of 26 degrees. A little later in the program, we're going to be talking to director Scott Hicks because the red carpet is probably being rolled out now. The lights are switched on. The Adelaide Film Festival kicks off tonight. There is a big party in town. About 130 movies will be on show over the course of the festival, and Scott has actually, he's directed one about Ben Folds 5. You would know from this song.
She's a brick and I'm drowning slowly off the coast.
So really quirky movie about him, and then of course this guy is in town.
Live and let die.
So Paul McCartney, he is in town as we know. In fact, I got a little message from somebody before saying that they saw him down at, I reckon it was Seaton yesterday. He was driving around and the window went down and he said, "G'day." I'll confirm whether that was Seaton or not. The email popped into my inbox. It's not popping up as we speak. But Mel Usher is going to be on the wireless tonight. She's got a Paul McCartney special from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock on 5AA tonight. So we'll have a chat with Mel a little bit later to tell us what we're in store for. But now it is time to talk all things tech, baby.
Yo, I don't think we should talk about this. Come on, why not? People might misunderstand what we're trying to say, you know? That's a part of life. Come on.
Let's talk about tech, baby. Let's talk about tech. Let's talk about tech. Let's talk about tech.
All right then, come on, Spin.
Good afternoon to you, Richard Pascoe. How's tricks?
Yeah, good, thanks, Jade. Lovely to talk to you.
You too. Well, look, let's kick things off. We've got a couple of callers already. We've got Deb in Wollonga. Hi, Deb.
Good afternoon, beautiful day.
Oh, it is.
Richard, I just want to know, I've got Microsoft 365 basic subscription. I pay $2.99 a month. But on my computer, it's telling me, get the most out of Google on your computer, open Google One. Are they the same thing? Is this a doubling up?
No, they're not the same thing. So Google One is a way for you to back up all your Google data. Have you got an Android phone?
Yes, I've got the 7 Pro, the one you recommended.
Very good. That's what we like. About to talk about the 8 Pro in a minute. But, but what it does, no, they're all good. They're all good. Don't worry. Don't panic. So what it does, it backs up everything that you've got on your phone and all your Google data. So it's to me, it's like an insurance policy to go along and make sure that everything is backed up. So if the worst happened and you lost that phone or it broke, you'll get everything back exactly as it was virtually when the accident happened. So
and that's on Google One.
That's on Google One, which is different from the Microsoft one, which backs up your whole computer.
So it's okay to run both if I get this Google One and then.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep.
Big fine.
Okay. And because I'm getting a message that keeps telling me my Gmail's running out of storage, and I thought, well, with my Microsoft Basic, I would have had plenty of storage.
No, that should be part of the Google One. So if you subscribe to Google One, it will go along and increase all your storage so that message won't come up again, because I think for about $20 odd a year gives you over 100 gig, which I don't think you'd fill.
No, I don't think I would. So it's okay to run them next to each other, like Google One and this Microsoft. Terrific. Yep. Thank you for being there as always. Thanks, Jade. Bye.
That's all right, Deb. Have a great afternoon. All right, so let's see if we can be tricky here. We're swapping over. We've got Len on the line. Hello, Len.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, thank you. I've got a PayPal question, which I used. I use that quite a lot, but all of a sudden now it's denying me the right to purchase through some sort of international agreement. Is that right?
No, that shouldn't be right. Have you tried to log on to your account?
I can, but I'm starting to wonder whether I'm actually logging onto something I'm not really logging onto, if you understand what I mean.
So if you go, I understand what you're saying. So if you go to paypal.com.au, then log into your account, make sure all your security settings are all done and all turned on for a start.
Okay.
All right. Now, if you have trouble that way, then you're going to have to contact PayPal.
Okay. Now, I can tell you exactly what happens. Then what happens is I have to purchase with my card, which is a prepaid, so there's only a limited amount on it.
Yeah.
And then before I get a receipt from where I'm purchasing from, I get an email from PayPal saying, stay logged on to this trusted device.
Yes, that's fine. That's right. All they're saying is they know you bought something from that computer or that phone before. To save you logging in every time, do you just want to make sure that this device is fine? I do it. I've done that, Len.
Okay. So I just have to go back and confirm my settings and should be okay.
You should be okay.
All right. Thanks, Richard.
All right. Thanks, Len.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Di in Flinders Park. Hello, Di.
Hello, Jade. Richard, I'm a person who has been with Internode for many, many years and came by the thing about they're getting rid of email. And yesterday spent 3.5 hours to move 3 email addresses because of keeping on getting a page saying this page isn't working right now, and then another one saying webmail Internode. Took too long to respond. Eventually got it done. But do you know anything about who this company is, the messaging company? Is it another thing that's owned by TPG?
Because, we don't know.
The night before, it took 23 attempts to be able to log into my email account, and that was before it was transferred. But, of course, it's been using this messaging company for a while.
Yeah.
And before I transferred yesterday, I did happen to ring Internode to tell them I couldn't possibly be remaining with them for much longer because I couldn't cope with all of this that's going on. You do expect to get into your email.
Well, you're exactly right. You're not the only person who's told me this. So sometimes it's really quick to transfer over to the messaging company. Sometimes it takes a long time to go along and do it. We know limited details about the messaging company. We're taking TPG and IONET and Internode's word that they're a good company for it at the moment. So we know that the cut-off date will be coming, which is at the end of November. So after that, if you haven't transferred over to the messaging company, they will squash your email addresses. And then sometime next year, they'll tell us how much they're going to charge us. So it's a great concern to people out there at the moment. So what a lot of people I've done and helped them with is, what I say to people is, make sure you've got a list of where everywhere that your Internode or IronNet or TPG address is. And, if you need to, swap to the messaging company, but put a transition phase in progress, really. So, have another email address which you can go along and start moving everything over to, because we still don't know anything about this company.
No, well, I had a friend who's got an Adam address, and I'd sent them various emails which they didn't receive. So by the third attempt over a variety of days, they finally got the email. Now, that's just not good enough in today's age.
Not good enough.
I certainly won't be staying, but I'm sure there are probably hundreds of others who won't be staying with them either. Maybe they'll get the message.
I think there'll be thousands won't be staying, not just hundreds.
Di, thank you so much for calling us. We're talking to Richard Pascoe, all thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your computer specialist. We're going to take a super short break. Huey, stay on the line. We'll be back soon if you'd like to talk to our tech guru, Richard Pascoe, 8223 0000.
Rowie and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Harrison Petty just popped up because he was in town. He actually mentioned to a couple of players down at the Crows, I think I wouldn't mind coming home. So they said, well, let's have a crack at him. I mean, what was their strategy going in? I mean, you don't get to the 11th hour with 24 hours to go and go, oh, gee, let's get Luco.
Rowie and Timmy G.
Surely they've worked on these players over a period of time. I want to know what their strategy was going into it. Was this it?
4 p.m. weekdays on FIVEAA.
Keep it clean and running like a dream with F10 fuel treatment. Whether it's cars, trucks, earth-moving machinery, boats or bikes, petrol or diesel, no matter what you drive, F10 makes engines run smoother and more efficiently, cleans and protects injectors and pumps, and extends the life of your engine. F10 removes water, wax, varnishes, and diesel bug contamination. F10 fuel treatment. Available at Auto One, Atom, Blackwoods, Burson's and Repco stores.
Australia, there's great value, hands down at Coles, with thousands of specials every week. Like Coles RSPCA-approved whole chicken, now just $4.50 per kilo at Coles. Offer ends 7th November.
Right now at Snooze, buy any size mattress and only pay the price of a single. Plus, save up to 40% off selected bed frames and 25% off Snooze-branded bedding and linen. Hurry, sale ends soon. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
What a little snooze can do. You don't have to jump on a plane to find pals from around the world, or even leave the airport. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has thousands of pals in a huge old airport hangar. So maybe their pals are whiskies from Scotland, Ireland and Japan, but that's just some of their pals. With over 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies and over 2,000 wines. New pals from around the world are closer than you think. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Come down for air and indulge your senses with Tasmanian Vacations and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience the pristine wilderness and awe-inspiring landscapes of Tasmania on a 12-night premium Tasmania self-drive holiday from $3,389 per person twin share. Enjoy premium accommodation, car hire, a Gordon River cruise, lunch at a winery and a National Parks pass. T's and C's apply. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
No, it's a pleasure So look around at your leisure.
Malcolm Blight here. The team at Knowles Island Star Caravans design and build caravans from decades of experience. They know because they go caravanning. And 75% of their customers are repeat or referred customers. As I've been saying for years, you'll love the way they do business. Knowles Island Star Caravans.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
The FIVEAA player lets you stream FIVEAA on your phone wherever you are.
5AA Afternoons with Jade Robran.
Welcome back to the program. We're talking all things tech with Richard Pascoe, thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. And Richard, we're joined by Huey, who would like to ask you a question. Hi, Huey.
Hi, yes. Thank you for taking my call. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Huey.
Hi, yeah, I really appreciate your taking my call. My first time caller.
That's all
I have
first time callers.
Thank you, Richard. I have a notebook 10 Plus. You know, the Samsung mobile phone. Yeah, yep. I've been using it for 3 years, and I'm with a company called Kogan as a service provider.
Yeah.
And I only recently noticed that I can't make call or I can't receive call when I'm out of the home, out of the Wi-Fi reception. Do you know why that is?
I would say because Kogan don't have reception in that area.
Ooh, but
yeah, you can make it under Wi-Fi, which most phones can now. But if it's not relying on Wi-Fi, then you've got to rely on the telco.
All right. Yeah, I swapped the SIM card with the other phone, and I use it no problem. You see, so I don't know what caused the hiccup.
That means there's just you don't have reception. So if you swap the SIM cards back, do you have reception?
Yeah, because I have gig, I have certain gig. I pay nearly $200 a year to use the phone. I can text and call Australia-wide unlimited. Yeah, but only recently.
But you're doing it under Wi-Fi, using the internet. You're not using the phone system.
I see. But the thing is that I already swapped to a different handset, and it worked. But not the same handset that I've been using for years.
So then what you'd need to do is go along and in the Android settings, there is a reset network settings in there. Make sure that you go along and press that. Try that first, all right?
Thank you very much, Huey. And now we're going to go to Danny, who is in Craigmore. Hello, Danny.
Hi, Jade. Hi, Richard. How you going?
Good, Danny.
Hey, I'm just wondering, yesterday I literally drove myself to a migraine with an issue I was having with Chrome. Now, what would you know about a thing called yellowsearch.com? It's a piece of malware that affects Chrome, but what I found is all the fixes that I found tell you, because apparently it jumps on as an app in the background, like an extension to Chrome. But when I go in to where all the extensions are, it's not there, and it only happens when I sign into my OneDrive account. It only infects it which is strange. And I've spoken to Microsoft or Google about it, and they're like, it's just a thing that happens. There's not really much we can do about it. But what I found is if I reset the browser, that seems to stop it. But what I was disappointed in is that the actual Microsoft security itself didn't pick it up, but my antivirus did. So
because what antivirus have you got?
I run a premium paid version of Avast.
Yeah, so what happens is Avast takes over. If you've got that on there, then the Microsoft one won't pick it up.
Yeah, I took it off temporarily and tried it again, and the Microsoft security just doesn't pick it up. It's something in the browser, but like I said, I was able to reset it, and I think I fixed it, but it seems strange that it only infects the browser when I sign into my OneDrive. So obviously the cloud is infected, and they're telling me, Microsoft are telling me there's nothing can be done about it because the server's sealed and no one can access it.
Yeah.
So basically,
who did you speak to at Microsoft, because they don't actually answer the phone anymore?
Oh, I had a 1-800 number of. It was their help.
Hold on 1 second. So those 1-800 numbers are not legitimate Microsoft outlets.
Okay, and that's actually I got that number from Microsoft.
Yeah, no. Well, I can tell you now, the 1-800 numbers, like you said when you spoke to somebody from Google, at least have you got a Google One membership?
Have we got? Oh,
Sorry.
he's gone. No, he's gone. But we have to go as well because it is news time. But
no,
that might be one that he contacts you off air, because it sounds like that might be a bit of a scam
exactly right.
possibly going on there.
It is.
Alrighty. Well, look, we know that you're a little bit under the weather, Mr. Pascoe, so thank you so much for joining us today. You rest up.
No worries. Thanks, Jade, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds like a plan. Richard Pascoe there, our Adelaide tech guy. We are going to take a super short break at today's headlines. Then on the other side, director Scott Hicks joins us.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
David Bruce with the latest news headlines. Israel claims it was not responsible for a missile attack on a Gaza hospital that has left hundreds of people dead. China has denied claims by ASIO that it's been stealing intellectual property from Australian research institutions. The Fijian Prime Minister has held talks with Anthony Albanese in Canberra with the aim to strengthen ties between the two nations and improve security in the region. And a number of trades have been made on the final day of the AFL trade period, including Collingwood's Jack Ginnivan going to Hawthorn. The 5AA forecast, sunny this afternoon, sunny again tomorrow, a top of 30. Right now, it's 25. More news at 4, and as it happens, on 5AA.
Listening to 5AA has never been easier.
Whatever you're doing, the 5AA player on your phone has you connected.
Stream 5AA while you're on your morning walk.
Or while getting comfy with a cuppa.
Listen to the sports show on the way home from work.
Or while going for a jog.
Or while pretending to be going for a jog while pretending to be Timmy Ginnivan, my friend.
The 5AA player. Just tap on the app, sit back and relax.
The 5AA player.
To be the best carer you can be, sometimes you need a break. Southern Cross Care's Respite Cottages offer short-term care for older adults, including people with dementia. Our clients cook in the kitchen, garden in the veggie patch, and enjoy crafts, games and exercise. The Pines Cottage Netley has just opened for people with more complex needs. To learn more, call 1800 852 772 or visit southerncrosscare.com.au.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. There's a lot of speculation about the state of the Adelaide property market, from people coming out of favourable fixed-rate loans to the rising costs of building a home. Now more than ever, you need an agent with genuine experience who knows what it takes to navigate more turbulent times. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team that has been through the highs and lows of the Adelaide real estate market, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Go to toop.com.au to find out more.
The secret to owning the best house in the street isn't about the house, it's the fence. Cast Stone is an SA company with a bold reputation for premium quality fences designed to enhance your beautiful home. Walk down the streets of Adelaide's best postcodes and you'll see their work everywhere. It's anything from heritage fencing to smart contemporary designs with either solid walling, tubular, steel, cast aluminium or timber slats. Sometimes you know exactly what you want, but if you're unsure, let Cast Stone inspire you. Remember, you haven't finished it until you've fenced it. View the gallery at caststone.com.au or arrange a consultation.
The wait is over. Exclusive Hot Wheels have arrived at Drake's Supermarkets. Get your free exclusive Hot Wheels car with every $60 you spend. There's 15 cars to collect with 3 awesome sets of 5. Don't miss out, there's a new set of 5 released every fortnight. They're only available exclusively at Drake's, so you'd better be quick. They'll race out the door. Drake's, ingredients for race days. Get into Ranella Mazda for a huge range of BT50s. New or demo or reduced, in stock ready for immediate delivery. With $2,000 of genuine Mazda accessories with every new BT50 sold. Hurry, only at Ranella Mazda, Main South Road, Ranella. LVD 152780.
Life sends us in all kinds of different directions. So if it's time for a new place, whether it's your first or your next, People's Choice will have you right at home. With great rates and flexible appointments, our home loan specialist can make it happen, wherever you are, because we're for easy journeys. Learn more online or in branch. Finding the right home is half the battle. Finding the right people to get you there is simple. People's Choice. Terms, conditions, fees, charges and lending criteria apply. Full details available on application. People's Choice Credit Union is referred to as People's Choice.
The FIVEAA Player app lets you listen to all your favourite FIVEAA shows wherever you go.
5AA Afternoons with Jade Robran.
Welcome back to the program. It's 25 minutes to 4 o'clock on this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Well, the red carpet would have been rolled out. The lights are on. The guest list has been checked. Tonight is the launch of the Adelaide Film Festival. Around 130 films coming from around 43 countries will be showing. But there will be a particular focus on South Aussie films. Joining us now is Oscar-nominated director, Adelaide's own Scott Hicks. Scott, lovely to have you on the program. Good afternoon.
Hi, Jade. Good to talk to you.
Have you shined your shoes? You got your tux on, ready to walk the red carpet?
Yeah, shine's the word.
I know. Now, this festival, it is so important to showcase what our great state is capable of, isn't it? And there will be quite a few South Aussie films on show.
Yes, indeed. Starting tonight with the gala premiere of Hotel Royal, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. And yeah, a number of South Australian films, really, because the Adelaide Film Festival is almost unique, if not unique, in the world for being a festival that invests in films, and they've been involved in so many high quality productions over the last 10 or 15 years, and this year is no different.
What is it about South Australia? Because I feel like there's been a real shift maybe in that you mentioned 10, 15 years, but I feel like in particular maybe the last 5 years. What is it about directors, filmmakers wanting to come to SA and make their films?
Well, look, it's a combination of many things. I think, we have created a great history of filmmaking, with the establishment of the South Australian Film Corporation 50 years ago. It was the first in the country, and it's built this sort of enormous reputation. But particularly, I think over the last decade or so, it's really shown a tremendous ability to find really interesting filmmakers, and filmmakers come in order to connect with the South Australian Film Corporation and the Adelaide Film Festival. And so I think we've just created a really vibrant film culture that is homegrown, as well as the big sort of Netflix and other productions that come into town and shoot here for location reasons or for crewing reasons or whatever it might be. But we just have this really powerful, vibrant South Australian film culture, and really experienced and excellent producers, directors, and others.
Is there any up-and-coming directors that you're looking forward to meeting or watching their works over the coming days?
Look, there's always, last night we were at a function for a number of the directors who have been invited to the festival, including an interesting group from Indonesia, which I think the film festival has just proved extremely smart in looking out to one of our closest neighbour, really, which has a large and vibrant film industry of its own. So again, they're sort of forming these connections in our region, which I think are really, really important. And so a film festival is all about getting a window into the rest of the world as well as into your own culture, and I think that's that's one of the key factors that make it such an important event.
I mean, Hollywood will always be there. I mean, Bollywood is huge, but what I've loved over, recent times is that movies from Australia, India, Indonesia, they've almost become, China, they've become big blockbuster movies. I mean, I feel like our minds are growing, our appetite for other cultures is growing as well. Do you feel like that?
I do. Well, I think also a film festival is a particular sort of event because, we've become in recent years, binging on streaming services and so on. That has become a sort of a cultural habit, if you like. Mm. But nothing matches that experience of sitting in the dark with a group of largely strangers watching flickering shadows on a wall. I mean, it's primal. It's primal sort of urge, really, of storytelling and the imagination, and I think that's what the celebration is. Get up, get out, get your glad rags on, and go and see some excellent films as they were made to be seen in the cinema. And you just couldn't ask for more over the next 10 days or so. I think it's really exciting. For me, it's a great sort of personal moment too, in the sense I've got 2 films that are screening in the festival on the last weekend. And, for me, it's an absolute thrill that they should have their world premieres in Adelaide, having had so many of my world premieres, in Vancouver, New York, Los Angeles, wherever. It's Adelaide, and Adelaide gets the first look at my 2 documentary films on music, The Musical Mind, and Ben Folds.
Well, The Musical Mind, A Portrait in Process, and my name's Ben Folds. I play piano. Now, I've seen the trailer. It doesn't give away much other than Ben, he seems like this real character. Hang on. Let me play it. Let me set it up.
A lot of you probably are here to see the orchestra and don't know who the hell I am. My name is Ben Folds. I play piano. Bloody disgrace. 2, 3, 4. That's a stunner. That's it. And then I just built it from there. Yeah, just do that whenever you feel like it. Yeah, but just kind of like an elephant kind of sound.
It sounds really quirky and fun.
He is amazing. It's amazing, how he integrates with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra, at Thebby Town Hall. And, he talks about Adelaide. He has great jokes about Adelaide, about his time living here. He's written great songs about Adelaide. And it was an amazing evening to film.
So what does it tell? What's the story about?
It's about, to me, what the surprise is, it's not just a concert film. You learn about his songwriting process. Mm-hmm. You learn about his technique. Where do the ideas come from? And you actually watch him create a song in real time with a 70-piece orchestra, which is no mean feat, because somebody calls out in the audience a catchphrase which is sort of become a tradition in Ben Folds' concerts. Yeah. When that phrase is called out, he must write a new song. Well, that's fine if it's just him and a piano. I mean, he finds that sort of more straightforward. But with a 70-piece orchestra, I mean, it's just sensational. And he gives the orchestra these sophisticated parts to play, and the symphony orchestra has the capacity to take up an improvisational situation. He involves the audience in singing in 3-part harmony. I went to see Ben Folds once with the dear late Barry Humphries, who was stunned at his ability to get an audience to sing in 3-part harmony. So it really, the film is a portal into the process of creativity, and with just wonderful music, tremendous storytelling by Ben. You can hear the audience laughing, and the feeling of it is just tremendous. And I'm so glad we captured it. It was a really magical night.
Wow. And then to throw in the pressure, if he feels any pressure, I don't know. He seems like a pretty calm dude. But to have you there knowing that a movie is coming out of it, I mean, wow, his mind must be incredible. You're drawn to people with incredible minds.
Well, I know that. Well, I think musicians are incredible people. The musical Mime being the other film, which is opening on Friday the 27th, where Daniel Johns, who's I think one of our greatest musicians and perhaps one of our greatest rock stars, really just opens up, in a really sort of open and honest fashion about how he goes about the process of creating songs. And I just find it fascinating, that people can spend their lives in almost a dreamlike state out of which they create unbelievable music, And David Helfgott, who's the other sort of star of that movie, in the musical Mind, I just went to visit him 25 years on from forming friendship with him over Shine, and to see his life and the wonderful career he's enjoyed since Shine. In fact, he's coming. He's going to play before the film, or the musical Mind, which I think is a great, it's just like a great circle that's closed for me. So it's a really exciting period personally, as well as with the greater scope of the entire film festival.
Well, I mean, the festival guests are quite amazing. I mean, I've read that David Helfgott will be there, and I wanted to ask you, I mean, looking back at the success of what Shine was and what an absolutely stunning story that is that one of your proudest pieces? And then to see him tonight on the red carpet, is there just this incredible bond between the two of you and what you've created?
Yes, he'll actually be on the red carpet in the second weekend of the festival. That's when the musical Mind is premiering. And yes, indeed, it is like a fantastic bond. And he and Daniel Johns have a tremendous rapport because Daniel had invited him to perform on Silverchair's album Neon Ballroom, and Daniel rates that as one of the most extraordinary experiences of his entire career, working with a musician like David. And they've just remained, they have a tremendous empathy together.
Yeah.
They're like kindred spirits. It's really quite touching to see them, and to see them working and enjoying each other's company together. It's really lovely.
Golly, that is something that you definitely want to capture. Two incredible minds.
Yes, yeah.
Look, thank you so much for joining us. And also, just to quickly touch on, you've got a beautiful exhibition opening at the State Library of South Australia today that is really your deepest, your artifacts of your memories of your time in movies. That must be really precious and probably something quite difficult to go through and have for everyone to share and look at.
Well, it's a foretaste of what is there, because just being the film festival time, I think the State Library, who've done a wonderful job in sort of taking over what is the archive of my 50 years in film, and organising it and curating it, and so there'll just be a little sort of taste of that available to see now, so that people can understand that this is going to be available online for people researching or out of interest, and I'm really happy it's staying here in South Australia and not going off, interstate or overseas, which was a possibility. So, I think the State Library is a tremendous organisation, and they've worked very hard with this collection, and it's something which I'll probably also talk a little bit about when I have a sort of a conversation during the festival on Saturday the 28th at the Mercury Cinema, where I'll be talking about the history of my career, or where it began here in South Australia, and why I've remained a part of the film culture in this state. And it's reflected in that State Library. As I say, it's a taster of what's to come.
Oh, wow. You are such an incredible ambassador for this state. We're blessed to have you, Scott. Thank you very
Well,
much
it's
for
very sweet of
joining
you.
us.
Well, thanks, Jade. I appreciate that. And, where else would I rather be? Let's face it.
This is true. I agree.
Yeah.
Enjoy tonight.
Thanks. No, I'm going to, and get out and enjoy some movies yourself. It'd be
Absolutely.
Really, yeah.
No,
Good to see
thank you
out there.
so much. Scott Hicks, director. And if you do want to jump on board and find out about some of these incredible movies that are on around town, and in fact, if you want to go and listen to Scott Hicks talk, jump onto the Adelaide Film Festival website, adelaidefilmfestival.org.
5AA is your home for AFLW football. Catch Crows and Power Games live all season thanks to Alpha Industries. Sheds, carports, verandas, studios, residential and commercial. Building for South Australia. alphaindustries.com.au.
You've signed a building contract. Work is underway on your dream home. Then, your builder hits rock while digging your footings. What happens? Most builders will send you a nice letter and then bump up their price with a variation. Not Rossdale Homes. When you sign their absolute fixed price contract, there are no hidden costs and no nasty surprises. It's the industry's strongest contract. So talk to Adelaide's most trusted builder, Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must.
Need your driveway, walkway, outdoor or entertaining area paved or repaved? You're in luck. Playford Pavers' massive sale is your unmissable opportunity. Score up to 30% off their stunning range, boasting a wide variety of colours and sizes. That's up to 30% off. But hurry, this offer is for a limited time and only while stocks last. Once they're gone, they're gone. Up to 30% off. Visit playfordpavers.com.au.
Are you a snorer, or are you someone who has to whack your partner with a pillow to try and shut him up? Sleep apnea is no fun for anyone involved. Luckily, you can help trial a possible treatment. CMAX is investigating a potential THC-based oral capsule. Now, if you're aged 18 to 65 and generally healthy, this could be your chance to help CMAX develop a treatment that could change the world. You'll also be reimbursed for your time upon your successful participation. Check your eligibility today. Log on to cmax.com.au, or you can call the CMAX team on 1800 150 433. That is 1800 150 433.
Uncover the heart of exploring with Viking Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Relaxing, seamless and exceptional value for money. That's river cruising the Viking way. Sail for 15 days from Amsterdam to Budapest from just $5,995 per person and save up to $4,600 per couple. Simply unpack once and let Viking take care of the rest. Offer ends November 30. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
No person living with disability should accept second best, ever. But unfortunately, when it comes to disability accommodation, there's a lot of second best out there. Thankfully, Orion Care is a shining star, offering beautiful new purpose-built supported disability homes in safe communities all over SA. And Orion Care can provide as little or as much care as you need. Visit orioncare.com.au and let's build a great life together.
IGA have low prices locked on a range of great Community Co products.
Like Community Co Tasty Cheese Slice 250 grams, $6 each. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends January 8, 2024. While stocks last. Excludes IGA Express and Tasmania.
The 5AA player lets you stream 5AA on your phone wherever you are.
5AA Afternoons with Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on 5AA. We are coming to you on the live stream, all thanks to our good mates from Foodland Supermarket. You can jump on to Facebook or YouTube.
Live and let die. Live and let die. Live and let die.
Well, for thousands of lucky South Australians, they're going to be heading to the Entertainment Centre in a few hours' time to see the great Sir Paul McCartney take to the stage. It's been 30 years since he jumped on stage here in South Australia. If you want a little bit of a warm-up, though, Mel Usher will be hosting a special Paul McCartney concert from 7 until 8 o'clock tonight. Mel joins us now. Are you all warmed up? Hi, Mel.
Good afternoon. Yes, I think McCartney Mania has finally hit me today. I'm really, really excited.
How good is he? Like seeing him in his little warm-up gig yesterday, talking to the crowd. I mean, he just is such a rock star, isn't he?
He's a living legend, isn't he? And he's 81 and he's still touring the world and rocking out. But at the end of the day, he's a Beatle. And
I know.
We only have 2 of them left these days, so I kind of figured if you get the chance to see a Beatle, you probably should go along and see him.
Oh, yeah. I've been stalking him on Sunrise, and I haven't been lucky enough to see him in the flesh, but I was just hoping that he'd come out and I'd go for a walk in the Adelaide Hills and I could just say, hey, hi, just saw you in the flesh. I mean, there's been a few spottings around town. Apparently he went and bought some tarts down at Semaphore. I don't know if that was true or not.
How exciting to just, maybe be going about your daily business and all of a sudden Sir Paul McCartney walks in the door and
He's so
is on the
good.
other side of the counter.
So tell us about tonight.
Well, with the wonders of technology, I will be on your radio and also seeing Sir Paul at the same time. But between 7 and 8 tonight, counting down my top 10 Paul McCartney songs, which is... When someone has been writing and recording songs their whole life, basically, it's very hard to narrow it down to 10. And when they've been in the most successful band of all time, that does make it very hard. But I have narrowed it down to 10. I'm sure it's a bit controversial. There's probably some favourites that I have left out, or someone is highly offended if a particular song isn't chosen. There are 5 Beatles songs in the 10. And then there's some solo stuff, some Wings, and even a duet in there as well.
Oh, I like it. And I'm sure it would really, I guess, just reignite memories of those people. Like there 300,000 people that lined, Anzac Highway and then into the city as well. There'd be so many of our listeners that were there that day back in 64.
Well, Sir Paul is kind of like an honorary South Australian because it was such a massive event that has gone down, in history. It's one of the huge things, like the earthquake in Adelaide and the day the Beatles came to town.
Yeah.
So it's just everybody, even if you're not really into music, you know the Beatles because they were omnipresent, and Adelaide played such a small but a big, massive, significant chunk in their history as well, because we gave them the biggest reception ever anywhere in the world, which is a pretty special kind of title.
And to this day as well, which I find amazing, because, the Beatles continued to go on and grow bigger and bigger. And to this day, I think that crowd still holds as the biggest reception that they've ever had. And, of course, we heard Sir Paul McCartney talk about that, in front of the small group that he entertained at the entertainment centre yesterday. And he just said it was surreal. It was awesome. It was amazing, and something that they will never, ever forget. You just couldn't.
Yeah, and I think as South Australians, when he reminisces about it, we feel extra warm and fuzzy because, it's a big deal for us, but to know that he still holds it very dear and fondly remembers that kind of crazy visit is really nice as well. Something you have to listen out for tonight is my mum will make a cameo because my mum saw the Beatles exactly 60 years ago in 1963 before she moved to Australia.
Wow.
So there's a nice bit of symmetry there. So 60 years later, her daughter is off to see Paul McCartney, but she was there in 1963 and has a bit of a chat about the gig and what they played and where she saw them, and it's really fascinating.
Oh, I love that. And Mel, you have the best time tonight.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you. And you can listen to Mel Usher hosting the Paul McCartney special from 7 until 8 p.m. on FIVEAA tonight. Guys, thank you so much. The sports show is coming up next. You can continue to live stream, all thanks to our very good mates at Foodland Supermarkets on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great night.
Shingles is sleeping. The virus that causes shingles is lying dormant in nearly all adults aged 50 and over. Immunity weakens with age and can allow the virus to reactivate without warning.